All right, welcome back, everyone. I hope we had a good lunch. It's week 3, day 4. We are going to do a Python installation with you today. But briefly, we're going to go over what Python is, why it's necessary, and just a little bit of an introduction into your upcoming month. And after that, you have the rest of the day to work on your project until tomorrow morning, where we do our algo and presentations, and that'll be our last lecture together. After that, we have the graduation. You'll see me there, but then the rest of the day is just for pretty much hanging out, talking, asking questions about what's up to come. You know, if you have any questions on whatever you're working on with your projects.
Don't go, Josh.
I'm leaving. I'm just your kindergarten teacher. Yeah, you gotta go to first grade. And first grade is hard. So I'm glad you guys have that week to get some rest, prepare, because Python really does need that sense of pause before you start, because it hits you hard from day one. So let's go ahead and get started. The thing we want to do is go to the slide. I made a slide. Just so we're not reading from the platform, and I just took the main points out of there so that we can just skim over this part. Oh, this is so, I need to zoom this out. Okay, this is the part where we'll zoom out and look at the platform. So here's the chart for what's coming up ahead. All right, so I'll go through what each of these things are just briefly, what you're going to be studying and why you're going to be studying it. But I would say expect from day one, like 6 out of 10, that maybe that's a little too low. I've put it up maybe around 7 to 8, and then it just goes up from there. So let's talk about it. What do we encounter day one? We encounter where it says Py fundamentals. That is all of how the language of Python itself works, just how we've been working on JavaScript for the last month or so. And we do it every morning. You're going to continue to do morning algorithms in JavaScript, even when you're in Python. But Python is a language where you can write, and it's not going to be hard to learn since you've already learned JavaScript. It's going to be pretty easy, an easy transition. But you get all of the language in one day. If statements, you know, for loops, how to write a function, how to write a variable, how all that syntax is different. So all of that's the same. You're writing for loops and if statements, and there's functions, inbuilt functions in Python as well to do the math functions that JavaScript has been doing. So we're going to transition to all that in one day. Okay, so you have to absorb how that whole language works and that difference between that and JavaScript in one day. And then it goes into using Python objects. You know how we use JavaScript objects? We're going to see the difference between an object and an array in Python, and how to access that object's value. So you're going to use objects in Python, and then you're going to use that data and present that data onto a web page using Flask. Okay, Flask is what connects Python. And I think right now is a good time to go to the next slide. So let me get out of this, try to make this image reasonably within bounds. Okay, and it's not high def, so forgive the fuzzy font. But what Python is used for is the backend. All right, at the beginning of this class, we were talking about how HTML, JavaScript, and CSS is the front end. So that would be the view, the experience of your restaurant, we're using that analogy to building an app or coding. All right, so we have the view of everything, the menu, that when you select a selection on the menu, the waiter understands and takes your information to the back end. All right, the back end would be something like an API. You know how when we call an API, we're asking for data, and that data exists, that long list of information exists somewhere on someone else's computer. But now we're going to create a backend, which is kind of like if it was to the restaurant analogy, they would be the cooks in the back in the kitchen, and they're accessing the data, which would be like the food, which the customer is then going to get to the front, back to their table, right? So the backend is going to make requests to, just like how we fetch data in JavaScript when we were fetching for an API request. This backend is going to fetch data from the database, is where all the information is stored. So for example, now on your front end, when you have someone click or like on a post, you don't have to refresh from 0 every time that like is clicked. It'll be saved to a database. So when you start up on your app again, that like is going to be saved, and it's going to be saved to your database. So we're going to teach you how to create a database as well, and which different types of databases exist. There's different relationships data can have with each other, and how to access their relationships as well. So you'll be doing those calls through the back end. So that's the code that you're writing. And so your front end is requesting from the back end is requesting data from the database returns it the way the back end had requested it. The back end then delivers that to your front end page. So that's why we're going to be using Python as a back end language for that. And there are many different types of back end languages out there. So you may be asking yourself, why are we learning Python in particular? Why this language out of many? Well, let's look at what Python is used in the industry for. It's used for web development. That's what we're doing. It's used for data science, for finance, for telecommunications, and even language processing. Okay, so Python is used in lots of different areas of business and science. We're using it now to build an application with Flask. So here it says, Python is used for creating web applications, building APIs, and implementing web frameworks like Django and Flask. So Flask is what we're going to be using to connect our back end to our front end. Okay, so that's what Flask is. It's that connection between the front end and the back end. See, it's called Flask because it's supposed to represent a container. That container contains them both, front end and the back end. So combined with Flask, you'll be able to make apps that you can see, you can work with your front end. And we are going to get to installing it. So let's see the rest of the slides here. I wrote another slide to see the differences between Python and JavaScript, right? Python is dynamically typed while JavaScript is also dynamically typed. So that's the same. There's data structures in Python. Python is known for its extensive library to support for databases. And JavaScript is used for web development mostly. And every website you visit will be HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's not going to be Python. So Python is a backend language. It's a language interpreter that people don't see by visiting a web page, but it's in there behind the scenes. So we're going to go through these steps to install Python. Okay, I'm leaving them here on the slide so that the slide was complete. We're going to go through these steps one by one. but we're gonna do it in groups. So we're gonna break out into groups between myself and Vincent, and we'll go through the installation process. Let me just take a quick survey here to ask who has a Mac versus who has a PC. So maybe we can divide the rooms into that if we see like an even result. So let me relaunch the poll and click uh 1 for Mac and 10 for PC. Someone put a 9. Come on, guys. 1 for Mac. I knew someone would. I just wanted to see who the troublemaker was. 1 for Mac and 10 for PC. Okay. So about 30% of us are Mac users. And so everyone that's a Mac user, I'm going to see who you are, and I'm going to put you all into one group. So give me a second to look at this information. Oh, this poll's supposed to be anonymous, but I have to like download and go through process. So let me stop the recording now. And
we could just type it in the chat. I don't think, at least I wouldn't care about saying if I'm PC or Mac. I'm not sure.
oh, okay. Yeah, it's just 6 people. So who's just call yourself out. We're gonna have to be the minority here, but we will align. Oh no, the PC users are trying to squander our poll.
We want to be a part of it.
Just the Mac users, not PC. Okay, you know what? I'll find this information. This is always gonna go sour. So let me pause the recording. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go over installation for Windows. Mac users have downloaded, and we are waiting to see 2s in the chat to see Python 3 space -v. Now for Windows users, you want to click this link, Windows installer 64-bit. Windows installer 64-bit.
The heck are those files?
I think most of us are finished that part already.
Okay, right. And so now, when you would have got to this step, you needed to click this one, add Python 3 dash, the 3 point, and then it would be that.
What if I missed that step?
Then we want to uninstall Python and then reinstall it. So
Reinstall, all right.
Isaiah, is that a sword? Oh no. Okay. I'm just looking for any opportunity to embarrass Isaiah if I can.
That looked like a sword. Just like put that in front of my face, blocking the screen.
Okay. Shakira, can you type in your question in the chat? Okay. We're going to share each other's screens in just a bit to debug, but I want to get us to see if how many people can get to step 2 before we get to sharing screens. So
I
1,
don't have step 2.
3, 4. So about half of us have finished step 2, and half of us are still on it. So of the people that are still on step 2, are we on PC or Mac?
Mac.
Mac, okay. And the rest of us? We're muted. Locked says same. Okay.
I'm on Mac as well.
Aaron and I will have to uninstall and reinstall.
I'm
Okay.
on Mac.
Okay. So, so for those Mac users, let's share your screen, Ben.
Okay. So I was just trying to type out the commands. This stuff.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, go ahead.
So if I copy it,
Okay, no, because the type this command is the delete all that. Oh, and you added another. Yeah, just type it from scratch. Python 3
oh, so only the Python part? Python 3
space
space.
dash V, like enter. There, you've done it. It's just I'm gonna complain to make them remove that copy.
Their explanation of how to type it in is not clear.
Yes, no, you have to. It's very precise. So
Okay, so I'm where I need to be then, right?
you're good, Ben. And who else now is complete with that, Ben? Lox, were you having the same issue?
Yeah, I was, but the thing is, even after I just type in Python, so even if I just type in Python 3 and then with the little dash space, oh, hold on. Oh, never mind, it worked. It's good now, thank you.
Okay, you're good.
Yeah.
Now, who else was the? I think now we said James is good.
I think Shakira needs to catch up. She got kicked out of the Zoom and she's back now.
Okay, Shakaya, are you? You're a Mac user, right?
Yes.
And where are you along the process?
I just got it installed. I didn't do nothing with the terminal yet.
Okay. So it's when it's finished installing, let us know. And I think we're all when we get to that step, when we say Python 3-V, we're done.
Yeah, it's done installing for me. I need the terminal command thing. That's what I was trying to do.
Okay, so go ahead and pull up your terminal, and when you don't copy it from the platform, just type it in directly. Python 3 space dash capital V.
Okay, yeah, show me the version.
Okay, all right, then you're all done. I think we're all good. And so we finished ahead of Vincent's group. Yeah, so I'm gonna check in on Vincent to see if he is experiencing any bugs that I can help his group with. But while we are waiting here, I want us to see if we can look at the platform and play with the shell here. So go to this part of the. Let me share my screen. Just realized I wasn't. Okay. So while I'm in Vincent's room, checking out what's going on in there, now that you have Python open in the terminal, we can start to run Python. So we start by typing in Python 3 and then press enter. Once you do that, you've started the terminal. Okay. And so then you can run, you can do math, you can print. That's like a console log, it's exactly the same. You just now it's the word print. And you can play with variables. X equals a string and then print X. So get to playing with variables and seeing what you can do with the terminal. I'll be right back, okay? I'm checking in on his group.
.11.
In the App Store, right?
In the Microsoft Store, yeah. Since it's on Windows.
Get it from there.
Yeah, it'll give you an option to install, and then it'll automatically install for you. I'm not sure if it's a mix of the executable from the Python webpage and that's allowing me to do both, allowing it to run because I installed both, but it works. Window PowerShell still doesn't see if the actual command prompt will. Yeah, I'm doing it from the command prompt from the just plain old command prompt.
Forget my fucking movie.
Okay.
Microsoft.
Want to share your screen,
Hi.
Anthony?
Yeah. Here, hold on. So did the whole Python downloader successfully installed, did the path thing,
Yeah. And so
And-
when you type in the
Python
Okay.
V, get application not found.
Can you try relaunching the command prompt just in case? And type Python.
No, now it
Yeah,
worked.
there we go.
I swear to God, I did that like 3 times. Vincent had me do it. I did it.
now type in Python and then press enter. So now you've entered the Python. So now you type in like 3 plus 3.
Alright.
Type in something like var x equals 3. What happened there?
Invalid syntax.
Oh, it wants a string, x to be a string. Var. No? Okay, well then this is what we're gonna do next once we have all installed. So we're now all installed.
I didn't do anything different. That's so weird.
Yes.
Isaiah good?
And
Uh,
Isaiah,
I'm not.
you're not installed yet. Can you share your screen, Isaiah?
Yeah. Let's see. I might be opening have the wrong command open because mine does not look like his.
What is this? This is the
It-
Python terminal.
Yeah, you're in the Python terminal.
So
Oh,
yeah,
Con-
you have entered. So
Control
type
Z?
it. Yeah, type in like you have already started it. So like type now that you're here, Isaiah, go into your terminal. Just click your terminal. Type in 3 plus 3.
3 plus 3. Enter.
There we go. If you want to exit this, do Control Z.
Control Z.
And then enter. What you basically opened was the Python command terminal. So you skipped the command prompt.
Yeah, go to command prompt. Yeah, now type in Python.
Oh, okay.
We're all good, Josh.
Okay. And now type in
Vincent.
Control Z, Control C.
Control C.
How do you exit? Is it
Control Z and then enter.
Oh, Z, not C. Okay. All right, we're all done. So let's close out the groups and close this out.
Nice. Thank you.
All right, everyone. We've all got Python installed. We've been initiated. So what we're going to do is just do a little bit of sample of what you can do now that you have it installed. And then we will close out this lecture. Okay. So I have my terminal here on the right, and I have Python on a Mac, so I have to type in Python 3. That's just for Mac users. All the PC users, you just type in Python. And I'm here on the platform on the running Python section, and I'm getting these commands from here. So let's look at what we can do. So we can do math. Let's look at 4 plus 5. We get our result 9. We can make variables. Y equals hello. Okay, now that's saved. So if I say print, now that's the new console log, print Y, I get the value, hello. Let's do something that doesn't make sense. Let's multiply a number versus a string here. So let's create a x to equal var, x equals, and now we don't have to type in the keyword for the variable. You don't have to type in var. You just say x equals 9. So now let's multiply x, which is 9, by y. X times y. So now we have a string that's hello 9 times. Hello, 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 hello. So that's what we get when we multiply a string against a number. And so we'll be seeing see how there's differences between Python and JavaScript already. In JavaScript, you'd have to declare the keyword. Python, you don't. Python, you say print. JavaScript, you say console log. And in order to exit this Python area, this Python execution, when it has this triple caret symbol, that means you're in the Python execution area. So we need to exit this on a Mac. It should be. Oh no, I just uploaded my pen. Sorry. Is it Control C or Control Z? Oh, I have some commands that are blocking my way to exit. But PC, it should be Control Z. And a Mac, I'm feeling doubtful because I can't exit now. So I have to see what is getting in my way. But if I really had trouble leaving, I just close the terminal that way and just open a new terminal. There we are, fresh. I'm out of the Python execution area. Let me try that again. Python 3. No, something's in my way. Okay, but that's all right. We don't need to get that working for me now. Mac users, are you able to verify what it is to get out? What's the actual command? Anyone in the chat saying it? Okay. I will fix my command shortcut to make it work for me. I wasn't realizing it was getting in the way. It's something to do with my pen that I made a shortcut to work on my screen. So
Control Z works on my Mac.
Control Z or Command Z?
Control Z.
Yeah, and
It's suspended Python
For
3.
Mac, it should be command.
yeah, Command is not it. It's Control Z. And Control Z uploads my pen. So that's what's getting in my way. We'll worry about that later. Let's close out this lecture session. We finished installing Python. We are at the end of our day. We have one more day left of web fundamentals, last day tomorrow. It'll be an easy algo tomorrow. My parting gift to you, and then we'll do our final project presentation. So I want to see the final product of your presentation, the MVP, the minimum viable product. All right, so let's see something tomorrow morning. And then the rest of the day, when you have to yourself, you can work on your project. There's things I can give you to read on Python. I'll pass that along after this lecture in the Discord chat. And, you know, we can hang out. You can ask me questions about what if you have anything about related to your project, this course. And at 2, we have the graduation. We'll be taking attendance there, and I highly encourage you to be attentive while you're there at the graduation. You'll learn lots of good stuff from other students and see their projects. Okay. And then you motivate yourself to be there one day as well. Okay, and that's it. I'm going to close out the recording. Thank you, guys.